and we'll continue with what we've been talking about, and that is normal distribution. I think I may have left off. Did I leave off with the empirical rule, standard deviation? Y'all have to remind me what I left off with. It's been like a month since I've seen y'all, it feels like. Okay, so we were doing finding the standard deviation? Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's do one to kind of get everybody's memory or get everybody's brain going. Let's go to Math 103. Let's go to chapter content. Well, let's go to homework. This is 6.2, correct? Or 6 what, B? You'll have to help me out. Yeah, I figured that's 6B, isn't it? All right, I want to do this problem right here because this problem is two problems together. Okay, now go ahead and write it down. It's number 4 in your homework, 6B, number 4. So it'll be one like this. And go ahead and write down this, and I want you to find the mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation of each group. You got two groups. You got the East Coast, and you got the Midwest. All right, there's two groups here. So you can write them down as two separate groups, or you can put them like this. I don't care how you do it, but you're going to do everything twice. Okay, so go ahead and write that down. God, this is a concept. The president has already sent his teams down to Florida. Wow, what a concept. Sending people in before the hurricane hit. Pretty good concept. No, let's wait. Let's wait until after it hits. Damn Russians. All right, I'm going to show you a trick learned in the war. Y'all see this little thing right here? Well, right there, see that little thing? That's the greatest thing in the world. You know what that thing does? It sends it to the Excel spreadsheet. So you click on that, open in Excel. And it's supposed to pull it up, but you got to go here and hit open. And there's the data right there. Now I'm going to do it as two separate questions like I told you to do. So here we go. I'm going to take this and I'm going to hit Control X. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put it down here somewhere. Everybody with me? Yes, no, maybe. You got it? Now I'm going to treat this one as totally different. So I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to put these in what? Put them in order. Now when you put data in order, you got to make sure you expand the selection. So that way this ends up not in order. Okay? Now you can find a lot of stuff. Well, let's go. Mean, median, range. Please tell me those coming up. Are they? Yeah. Let's see how you eat those other ones. They're cardboard. Range, mid-range. Variance and standard deviation. All right, the mean. Well, to get the mean, you got to take and add all these up. How many are there? 5 or 6? 6, Hubert. Then divide by 6. And that's your mean. Median. Well, 6. So you got to take the middle 2 and do what? Average them. Yeah, add them and average them. So equals, parentheses, this guy plus this guy divided by what? 2. Mode. Well, it's to the 10th, so I doubt very seriously you're going to have a mode. The more decimals you have, the less likely you're going to have one that shows up the same. So that's not applicable. Range equals this guy minus this guy. Mid-range is equal to the highest plus the lowest divided by what? 2. Now the variance, we got to start subtracting stuff. So this is x. So this would be x minus x what? X minus x bar, which is x minus the mean. So this minus the mean, F4 to lock it. We'll copy and paste that down. And then what do we do with x minus x bar after we get it? Square it. Make everything positive. So that's equal to this number raised to the second power. And copy that down. And what do we do with x minus x bar quantity squared? You add it up. So that's our numerator of our variance. Equals the numerator divided by, what's 6 minus 1? Always do the n minus 1. It's always on the bottom. N minus 1. So our variance is that, which we don't really care. We will take the square root of that. So that is this raised to the 0.5 power. And there is our two numbers that we really want. Now there's two other numbers that are very valuable. Somebody tell me what those are. That's not a rhetorical question. I'm really asking for somebody to tell me. There's probably two more numbers that are important. That's what I heard. I heard enunciate and volume. Not this. Okay, try it again. I got two more numbers up there that are important. What are they? For people, you've got a, what, 30% chance or whatever. Come on, take a guess. Okay, a little bit louder. Median is 1. Why? Because it's close to the what? Middle. Good. You're starting to see something. See a pattern. What other number is near the middle? Mid-range. Now, what do all four of those numbers represent? Well, not this number, but these three numbers are representing whereabouts is the center. Now, write this down. If these numbers are close together, that means your data is valid. It's tight. If they're not close together, you've got sloppy data. You don't have enough data. You need more surveys. You need more whatever. You need more test grades. Now, these two are pretty close, but what about this one? Not very close. So that means you've got pretty much data on the middle is around 210. So you got a lot of data on 157. So that means that you may be a little bit skewed right because all your data is on the left-hand side of center. I'll show you that in just a minute. Now, go ahead and take your mean and put down here. We're going to add what? I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. I'm just not thinking today. It's the rain. And whenever you mess up, you're supposed to blame it on somebody or something, right? That's what you're supposed to do, right? Just sit there. That's fine. Don't talk to me. That's fine. This number plus what? Standard deviation, F4. And I'm just going to copy it over one more for 2 standard deviations. And over here equals this number minus standard deviation, F4. And take it over one time. And there is our distribution. So that means 95% of the population is going to fall between what? 2 and what? 314. That's what they're saying. If this data was quadrupled, if there was 15 numbers up here, based on this sample, you would get 95% of them between 2 and 313. Okay? Yeah, here's the mean, right there. I'll color it different. Let's see, there's the mean. And then I took the standard deviation and I added it to each side. And I subtracted it on the left. I'm sorry, I didn't add it on each side. I subtract and added it on each side. There we go. Plus 1 SD. It thinks I'm trying to write a book. No. Okay. So it's not. Plus 1 standard deviation and plus what? 2 standard deviations. Minus 1 standard deviation. Minus 2 standard deviations. Is that better? Yeah, Hubert, that's better. I understand. Good. Anybody else got any questions? No, Hubert, we're good. Okay, thank you for interacting. Makes the class go by a whole lot faster. Any other questions? I just covered this stuff so well. Is that it? Huh? Because that's the empirical rule. Look up, did I cover the empirical rule with y'all? What page is it on? Oh, remember, you can't say empirical, so you have to say 99, 68, 34% rule or something.
Okay, but like, what if it was the 99.7?
That would be one more number right there. And one more right here. It would be 98%.
So,
basically, you'll get this with the questions that we get. All you need to do is be able to add and subtract on both sides. You'll know how much to do that depending on the question. Depending on the question. Yes, ma'am.
If it's a question, so one question if someone
If somebody had 5, are they normal? If somebody had 316, are they normal? No. Because that's outside of normalcy. Normalcy is 95%. Write that down. 95% is normalcy. Anything out, or being normal, anything out of 95% is outliers or unusual. Actually, I'll go ahead and tell you this. If you add 1 standard deviation more on one side, I'll just go out here that way, and here that way. This right here, outside, that is unusual. This one is unusual. What's outside of unusual? Outlier. Outlier. Outlier is your 6-foot 5th grader. Okay? Or your 300-pound 4th grader. Or your 1800 SATer. Okay? That's your outliers. So let's say that this was I don't know, let's say this was, I don't know what it is. What did y'all say this was? What does the question say this is? Anybody write down a question? What are the East counties doing? What are the East Coast counties doing? What is this? I'll find out. Don't worry, class. No, I got it. Cost of living index. So let's say cost of living. If your cost of living is $500 per whatever they're saying, what are you? Are you an outlier or are you normal? You're an outlier. What if you are $200 a month or whatever they're doing? Then you would be normal. What if you didn't bring home any money and you were negative $200 in the hole every week? Then you would be an outlier on the other side. You'll see how it works? Yes, Hubert. Okay, class. Starting to get irritated. Remember, I like an interactive class, not a bunch of bumps on the log. Now, we can take this right here and hit Copy. Control C. Go down here and Control V. All right, go ahead and do the second part. See if you come up with the same numbers I do. This is what gets me with students. I can't get on my Labs Plus. I've tried several times on my laptop and it will not let me. Okay? Then, what about the labs? What about another computer? You tried another computer? I bet you 9 times out of 10 this person's using what do you call, not this. This is a Dell. What do you call those things with Apple on them? Is it Apple or an iBook or whatever? MacBook. Most of the time, I guarantee if I was to email that student right now and say, what kind of computer? Mac. Every single time. That's because Mr. What's his name? Didn't want to change his computers to be compatible with everybody else. You know why? So you have to buy more stuff. And buddy, people bit, hook, line, and what? Sinker. iPhone. Oh, you can go get this free app on Android. Oh, we can't. We gotta go buy it. Gotta go buy it. Gotta go buy it. Yeah, you can do it on your calculator. So I'm going to show you how to do it after we do it this way. SX, remember sex. SX is your, I know it's a terrible word. Sex. SX is your standard deviation. I told my son he could pick the drinks and went to the grocery store. Oh. Let me check these and make sure that I got them. First of all, I don't have them in order, so that would cause a problem. I don't know if that causes a problem as far as it probably will in the medium. So that's these two guys. Sorry. Can't stand for the colors not to match. Equals, parentheses, this guy plus this guy divided by 2. Yep, that's right. Range, 228 minus 80, 90. 22 minus 9 is what? Yep, that's about right. 14. Mid-range. I'll check this one right quick, make sure it's right. Looks like to me everything's right on this one. Now let me ask y'all a question. Which one has the more tight data? Look at these two. You got the 209 is your mid-range. You got a 131 median and a 157. Down here you got a 115 and a 158 and a 95. It looks like to me this one's a little bit tighter. What else tells you it's a little bit tighter? Look at the standard deviation. Is it smaller or larger than this one? It's smaller, that means your numbers are closer together. The standard deviation spreads out your numbers. Q1 and 2, we haven't talked about that. You take these two right here, multiply and average them. I checked it, that's right. Okay, what are you talking about? Mid-range, you take the highest plus the lowest and divide by 2. Do I need to check that one? Okay, you'll probably fail. Just gonna go ahead and tell you right now. I wouldn't even show up for the test. Oh, to answer your test about online, just remember in this class, mostly everything is online. I'm gonna have to give y'all an in-class test because of the Pendleton campus throwing temper tantrum. So we're just not gonna even go there. So the in-class test will consist of 5 questions, and they'll just be basically impassable. It'll be so difficult. Huh? Okay, make sure I'm right. Okay. Equals this minus this F4. Yep. That's wrong. When I copied them down, must have messed them up. There you go. How's that? Is that better? Well, now you see even more of a difference. What's the standard deviation up here? 78? What's the standard deviation down here? So the data is much tighter with the Midwest countries. Counties, countries, whatever. All right? Since the standard deviation is less, your data is tighter. When you're shooting a weapon, what do you want? You want your dots what? Accurate. You want it close together. A tight what? What's it called? Tight group. Okay, if you ever shoot a weapon, that's what you want. You want a tight group. If you're shooting all over the place, it's like a turkey shoot. You got one hole up here and one down here. You're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot before it's over with. Okay? So that's what you'll be able to tell with that data. I have no idea what the question is asking for, but we're going to go ahead and see. You'll need to write down that information. Write down this information right here. And write down this information right here so I can ask y'all what their numbers are when I go to the next other page, okay? So that's the one we just did. So copy those numbers down. As soon as y'all get those copied down, we'll go back to the question. What's the mean of the East Coast cities? That's the first group. What's the mean? 157.9. Uh-oh.
You said 2 decibels. 157.92.
What'd you say?
157.92.
92. The median for the East Coast. 131.5 what? Sometimes you have to. I just did it because I didn't feel like having to go back and do it again. The range for the East Coast. I heard. That's what I heard.
16.2.
Thank you. 16.20. Uh-oh. You sure?
Heard it wrong.
What'd you say?
210.
210.2. I did that. I did it just to do it. You don't have to. It's a 0. Chill out. Breathe. What's the mean for the Midwest? I would love to write those little things that say excellent. I'll get fired after the first week. You said, okay, I'm doing my homework. Click, I got it wrong. You suck. Why are you even here? Yeah, they would fire me. Go get a job. You're going to live in a ditch the rest of your life. All right, what's the median? And what? Told y'all to write my numbers down. 95.05. Range for the Midwest. Okay, now this is where you get the low value, the median, the high value, lower quartile, 5-number summary. Well, I'm fixing to show you how to do the 5-number summary now. Go back over here. It's really hard, okay? You might not be able to get it. Min, max, max equals. And this one is the first quartile, second quartile, third quartile. Some people call this, I'm going to put first quartile, second quartile, third quartile. All right, that's what some people call it. Some people call it percentiles. This is called the 25th percentile. 50th percentile. And the 75th percentile. Okay, all three of these are the same. All of those are the same. Okay. Now, the good thing is the second one, I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark it blue because it's going to be what? Medium. Change this to blue color. You ever have one of those days when you're sitting at your computer and just your body just keeps wanting to fall asleep? You ever have one of those days? Having one of those days right now. My body is like, oh, I'll be all right. Y'all keep it down. What is the max? What is the min? Well, it's real simple. Min is this number. I told you this was some rough stuff. Told you y'all wouldn't be able to get it. I'll color this orange. Dang old tangerine, dang old orange, dang old peach. Coral. Max. Wonder what max is. That's your highest number. Color that dang old. No. Dang old gray. Now you just got to do the 5-number summary. Before we do the 5-number summary, I want to put this 131.5, I want to mark it. Okay? 131.5 is where? Right there. Right between those two numbers, right? So count above the blue dot. How many numbers we got above the blue dot? 1, 2, 3. How many numbers above the blue dot? 3. So what's the middle of 3? I'm sorry, what? Well, the middle of 3 boxes is what? The second box. So that's your first quartile. So I'm going to take my handy dandy, I don't know what I'm going to color it, but I'll color this that's too dark. That baby blue, not the color I would have picked, but better than nothing, I guess. What if that would have been 4 numbers? What would you have had to do? If it was 4 numbers above the blue, what would you have to do? The average of the 2 middle numbers. Okay, so that'd be number 2 and number 3. You would take the average of those 2. All right, there's 3 numbers on the bottom, so that means this number needs to be something. Funky looking green. A old forest green. That's equal to that number right there. Now you've got your 5-number summary. And that's how you do 5-number summary. Y'all learning all kinds of stuff today. Let's see if this will work. All right, let's see if that works. All my colors. I guess it's not going to take. We'll just go with that. There's your 5-number summary there. Now, what do you do with a 5-number summary? Well, this is what you do with a 5-number summary, and you need to write this in your notebooks because they're going to ask you for what's called box plot, I think. I can't remember if it's a box plot or what. But anyway, first thing you're going to do is set up a number line. That number line is going to consist of the max and min. 104.6 and 314.8. Okay, so now you got to graduate the rest of it. So, find the middle. The middle is called the mid-range. 209.7. Now, am I going to keep these decimals up here, or am I going to just round? I'm going to just round. Why? Well, I'm just going to sit here until we're just going to sit here in the quiet until y'all answer it. That means you can say it again with enunciation and volume. Okay, with what? Well, yeah, they're hard to calculate with decimals. All right, you're doing a number line down here. Is there going to be the accuracy police to come around and check your number line to see if you drew everything exactly on the number line? No. So I'm going to put 105 here. I'm going to put 210. Oops. I don't know why this thing don't set an eraser. It'll be in here one day and it'll be an eraser. Come in the next day and it's yellow. Conspiracy, I'm telling you. 210 there, and then my 315 is right here. So, what's the difference between 105 and 210? Hubert. That's right, class. And what's halfway? What's 105 divided by 2? 52, Hubert. Okay, so 52 added to this would be what? 157? It's the middle there. Then over here, 210 to 315, 105, half of 105 is what? 52. 52 is added to 210 is 2 what? 262, and then just keep finding the middle of the middle. I'm going to do the middle one more time. 105 to 157 is what? 52? 52, half of 52 is what? 26? Something like that? What's 26 plus 131? You just add 26 to each one. 26 to this is what? 183? Y'all check me. 26 to this is 236. 26 to this is 288. Now you can stop because you've about got it filled in to where you can plot points. You can keep going. It depends on how cluttered up it is versus how spaced out it is. You need to be able to plot those 3 numbers up there. The first quartile, 123.6, or 120 what? 124. I'm going to use a red one for that. 124 is going to be down here. Okay. What's 142? 142 is going to be where? Right in here. And 132 is in the middle. Now, looking at this, where's the middle of the number line? 210. The middle of the number line is 210. So So it's supposed to look like this, right? But it doesn't. No, Hubert, it doesn't. Why? Because all your data is where? Right here. So right now, this data looks like this. This is the middle. Instead of this being the middle, it looks more like this. So what kind of data group do you have? Skewed left, skewed right, or normal? Skewed right, because it's on all the data is on what side? Left-hand side. All right, do the box plot and 5-number summary for the top. That's the Midwest, I believe, isn't it? Is that the bottom of my? That's the East Coast. What's East Coast, first or last? Okay, now you do the bottom. There you go. Do your number line based on your min and max. Your mid-range is the middle. Maybe I can move this over there. Conspiracy. So when does it start? Your kid, does it start at night? Can I go tonight and watch it? Huh? Check it for me. I don't have my son tonight. I can go to the movies tonight. The one that sells alcohol. That's the one, Regal. Trying to get him to sell Jack Daniels, but I'll just have to keep carrying. I'll just have to keep drinking beer up here. Huh? Yeah. Oh, so it starts at regular 7. I think I agreed with that. I'm gonna do that.
And it's only every 30 minutes, something 2 different.
You are kidding.
From 7 and 30.
Yeah. Huh? Okay, you gotta work.
I don't think I should test like at 7:30
Let me guess, science?
now it's 4
Ah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go tonight.
It must have a lot of like rooms in it.
Yeah.
Since it's a 2-hour movie, it's only
Yeah. Yeah, I went to see Annabelle, and I thought Annabelle was pretty good. I want to see the next one.
It actually says tomorrow is opening day.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna try to go tonight.
It says tomorrow.
Oh, it does.
Well, it says Friday's opening day, but it says Thursday they have to do something. So it's not really open. It starts tomorrow and opening day Friday.
I'll ride by there today and see this. Start tonight. Huh? Don't matter. It ain't gonna melt. I ain't like some people that melts.
On Fridays, it's 1 o'clock to 10:45 every 30 minutes.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my son in. He don't want no part of Annabelle or Pennywise. He saw that Pennywise. I showed him the Pennywise It. I showed him that. And he went, no. Last movie he saw with me was at home when we watched Mother, or it's called Mama. Oh, he didn't make it halfway through it. He said, I'm going in and watch SpongeBob. I said, okay. That was a good movie. Mama was a good movie. I like those movies that have stuff in the house, just crawl the walls, and then they'll jump up behind you in a heartbeat. That's the kind of stuff I like. Huh? I don't know. I just love it. I don't know. I love it.
I like the old ones. It's like not really scary, it's just kind of fun.
Yeah. Now, the only slasher movies I like are Michael Myers and Jason.
Spot Jason and Scream.
Scream, I never could. I've watched all the Scream movies. I'm like, really?
It's not even scary. It's
Yeah.
just funny.
And you can't put scary with comedy. Horror and comedy don't mix. Those are the stupidest movies ever made.
I didn't think there was supposed to be scary.
What?
Scary.
No, I'm talking about when you see on the nightstick, or what's it called, fire stick, it says comedy and horror, don't watch it. It's usually stupid. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna find my min and my max. My min is 88, and my max is 228. Am I on the right one? Okay, 228. And my mid-range is 160 or 158. You put 158. Well, that's good because they end in 8s. That way it's easy to do the math.
So you really need to.
Right here. Pay attention. Okay? All right, so what's the difference between 88 and 58? 70. That's right. What's half of 70? 35. When they add 35 to this, you get what? 113. Somebody help me out. 123. Thank you. Same thing over here. Add 35 to 158. 193. Check me. And what's half of 35? 17? Or 35 would be what? 12 and a half? No. Half of 35 is 17 and a half, right? So 18. Add 18 to this. 88 plus 20 is what? 108 minus 2 is 106. Add 17 or 18 to this one, or subtract, what did I say, 28 or 18? 18. Take 18 from 158, what do you get? 140? Add 18 to 158, you get 176. Add or subtract 18, what would that give you? 210? Y'all check me, but I should be right. All right, now put your points on. My first is 92 or 93. Somewhere in there. 98. And the middle is what, 95? So this skews right, but it's a little bit, that box is a little bit what? A little bit tighter. So I don't know what the question's going to ask. We'll look at it, but you can say that your second set of data is much more what? Together, much tighter, much closer. Let's see what the question asks. Now we've gone over about 4 questions in these 2 questions. We've gone over the mean, median, mode. We've gone over that. That's 1 question. Then we've gone over the 5-number summary. That's 2 questions. Then we've gone over the normal distribution. That's 3 questions. And then we've gone over the box plot. So we've done like 8 questions with these 2 questions. Okay? I don't want you to think you're getting your money's worth today. Okay? All right, let's go back to the question. We finish up. Where's my questions? Under this. And y'all just gonna have to give me the numbers. The East Coast, what's my numbers? Low value is what? Hold on, it's right here. 105? 105. Is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be a decimal, isn't it? Rounded 2 places. What is it? 105 what? 104 what? 60? 104.60. Median, 131.50. What's my highest value? 314.80. The second quartile, or the first quartile? 123.60. And the upper quartile? 1.50. Look there. It's a miracle. All right, now look here. Now you're going to have to, you probably are going to have to, well, not mess it up, but you're going to have to look at the values down here. Now my value is 315. Okay, that's 330. That's 330. That's 330. So that means it looks like all three of these are lining up about where mine lined up, 315 or whatever. Yeah. So that's not going to help you. You're probably going to have to blow them up. This one is not the answer. Why? There's something wrong with this one. Doesn't have hash marks down each end. So that takes that one out. So A is not the answer. And then you look at these two and find out which one looks closer to yours. Okay, mine is at 100 and whatever. Now that don't look right because this one is coming down here around 130. I don't know, let's check the other one. I don't know which one that one was. Was it this one or this one? Which one did I pick, B or C? So let's look at C. Yeah, this one is below 130. See there? So I'd say it's C. Final check. It's a miracle. And now you do the same thing for the next one. So this one's got like 4 questions each. Make sure this is a good test question, because if you can do this question, you can do the material for 6B. If you can do this question, which is number 4, number 15 in the book, if you can do this one, then you can do everything for 6.B. All right, let me turn the do-jigger off before they start breaking down the door.